Imagine you're driving down the long road in Lamar Valley in Yellowstone National Park. You come across a place where a lot of people are pulled off to the side of the road. And a lot of people are sitting in camping chairs. A lot of people are sitting in with cameras and binoculars and telescopic lenses and telescopes. And everyone is just standing or sitting around looking across the valley, across the winding river the Lamar Valley is known about. When you're in Yellowstone, you stop and you pull over and you look at what's going on, because usually that means there's an animal nearby. And this is what happened to me and my husband on our first anniversary trip to Yellowstone National Park. I was really excited for this trip because a few years before that, the wolves had just been reintroduced into Yellowstone National Park, which was really, really exciting for me and something that fascinated me because I have always loved wolves my entire life. And so I've learned a lot about them. And when we got there, we found out with excitement that the rangers were actually giving a presentation about the wolves and their reintroduction to Yellowstone and what was going on and happening so far. It was exciting because one thing that we learned in this presentation is that two young male wolves had been kicked out of the most recent the newly formed bonded pack. And eek, rogue wolves, but this was also a sign that there would probably be another pack forming soon within Yellowstone National Park. So I have spent a long time learning about wolves, learning about the history and lore of North American wolves, and because wolves actually used to dot the landscape of western northern America. And when the settlers moved west, they unfortunately the great wolves clashed with the livestock that the pioneers were bringing, with the farms, and were affecting the hunting trade. So in a historical context, the fact that wolves were hunted actually makes sense. What's sad is that according to the National Park Service website, Yellowstone and the people that ran it were even caught up in wanting to get rid of these and other predatory animals. This started at the inception of Yellowstone National Park, when even though the Congressional Act clearly stated that the Secretary of the Interior shall provide against the wanton destruction of the fish and game within said park, sadly, again, as the National Park Service website explains, in 1914 to 1926, about 136 wolves had been killed within inside the park. By the 1940s, wolves packs were rarely reported. By the mid-1900s, wolves had been almost entirely eliminated from the 48 states. This was done mostly to protect agriculture, livestock, and the encroaching human population and the hunting population. Up until the 1990s, there was actually no known evidence of wolves in the 48 states except for one pack establishment in Montana. In the 1960s and 70s, environmental and animal activists started to bring to light the loss of the North American gray wolves, showing that their loss was a missing link within the North American Western ecosystem. In 1978, all subspecies of the wolf were added to the lower 48 state endangered species list. Then, after a lot of scientific studies and public advocacy, in 1995 and 96, wolves were finally brought back to Yellowstone. This has been proven mostly a good thing. Since the wolves have been reintroduced, the elk population has been returned to a healthy level that allows plant life to flourish, which also allows other animal life to flourish. This has brought a balance to the Yellowstone ecosystem. There might be other causes as well, but most noticeably the cause of the wolves being reintroduced into Yellowstone is a great one. One of the signs of the effect that wolves have brought back onto Yellowstone's ecosystem is the beaver population. Before the wolves were introduced, there was only one known beaver habitat. After the wolves were introduced, there were 8. Wolves have also helped other animals find food. When a wolf hunts a bison, an elk, or any other type of animal, they do not bury the carcass. This allows other scavenger animals and other predatory animals to come behind them after they have killed and eaten their portion of whatever animal that they have killed and they want. This allows ravens, bald eagles, coyotes, and even the great grizzly bear to come behind them and be able to eat the rest of the carcass themselves. The only thing that the wolves affected negatively was the coyote population, because coyotes and wolves are kind of at war, are in the same kind of predatory population, so they're in competition with each other. So at first the coyote population declined, but because the coyote population declined, it actually allowed for other species of animals to make a comeback, such as rodents and birds. I was actually able to see this in process. When we pulled over in Lamar Valley, when we saw all those people at the side of the road, when we pulled over, we were actually able to see the wolf pack hunting a sick bison. Well, when the bison collapsed and the wolves came in for the kill, and after they had eaten, there was actually a grizzly bear off to the side waiting for his turn. And it was a really, really awesome thing to see. My most favorite story about wolves from my first year anniversary is actually being able to see those rogue wolves hunting a deer. When we went outside Yellowstone National Park to get some dinner, when we came back in, it was about sundown, and our headlights of our car hit onto a deer, and then just shortly after that hit onto 2 sets of eyes. We actually stopped and looked, and we saw the 2 rogue wolves because there was no other pack in sight, and we were able to see the rogue wolves in action, and we were able to see the wolves and the way that they're affecting the ecosystem of Yellowstone in action on that anniversary trip. And it was really an awesome thing to see, and I hope that this has been an enjoyable speech for you guys. Thank you.